If you are watching this, you are standing at the edge of a decision, a moment where the weight of your dreams presses against the fear of staying stuck. You are not here by accident. You clicked this video because something inside you is restless, hungry, maybe even a little desperate for change. You have tried before. Maybe you have read the books, listened to the podcasts, or made the promises to yourself, but somehow you are still not where you want to be. That struggle, that quiet ache in your chest, is real. It is not a flaw, it is a signal. It is your soul whispering that you are meant for more. This video is not just another talk. It is a lifeline, a roadmap, a one-on-one conversation between you and me, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Jim Rohn, to pull you out of the fog and into a life of purpose, discipline, and success. You need to watch this to the end, because I am going to show you 5 ways, not theories, not quick fixes, but real, practical ways to rewire your mind, to brainwash yourself for success. These are not fluffy ideas. These are tools forged in the fire of struggle, tools that have lifted ordinary people into extraordinary lives. Stay with me, because by the end, you will not just feel inspired, you will know exactly what to do next. Decide you are worth it. The first step to brainwashing yourself for success is to decide, deep in your bones, that you are worth it, not in a vague, feel-good way, but in a way that shakes you awake. Most people never reach their potential because they secretly believe they do not deserve it. They look at their past mistakes, their missed opportunities, the times they let themselves or others down, and they build a cage out of those moments. You might be doing this right now, carrying a story that says, "I am not enough." Let me tell you something, that story is a lie. It is not who you are, it is just a habit of thinking you have practiced too long. I remember a man I met years ago, a father of 2, working a dead-end job, convinced he was too old to start over. He told me, "I have made too many mistakes to dream big now." But we sat down and I asked him one question. If your kids were watching you, would you want them to see a man who gave up on himself or a man who fought for his worth? That question stopped him cold. His eyes welled up, not because I had said something profound, but because he realized he had been living as if his dreams were not worth fighting for. You are no different. You are carrying a spark inside you, a vision of who you could be, a better parent, a bolder entrepreneur, a stronger leader, a person who wakes up with purpose instead of dread. But you have to decide that you are worth the effort. This is not about arrogance. It is about self-respect. It is about looking in the mirror and saying, "I am not perfect, but I am worth the work it takes to become great." This decision is the foundation of brainwashing yourself for success. It is not a one-time choice, it is a daily commitment. Every morning, you wake up and face a world that will try to convince you to stay small. The bills pile up, the doubts creep in, the distractions multiply. But you have to stand firm and remind yourself that your life matters. Think about someone you admire, maybe a mentor, a parent, or even a character from a story. What makes them inspiring? It is not that they never failed. It is that they refused to let failure define them. They decided their dreams were worth fighting. For no matter how many times they stumbled, you can do the same. Start small if you must. Write down one reason why you are worth it. Maybe it is your kids, your passion, or simply the fact that you are still here, still breathing, still fighting. Hold on to that reason like a lifeline. I met a woman once, a single mother named Clara, who worked 2 jobs and still felt like she was failing her son. She told me, "I want to give him a better life, but I am too tired to dream." I asked her to do one thing every night before bed. Write down one thing she did that day that made her proud. It could be as simple as getting through a tough shift or reading to her son. Over weeks, that notebook became her proof that she was worth it. She started taking night classes, then landed a better job, and years later she told me, "That decision to believe in myself changed everything." You do not need permission to believe in your worth. You do not need a degree, a bank account, or anyone else's approval. You just need to decide, right now, that you are worth the fight. This decision is not easy. It requires you to confront your fears, your excuses, and the voices, inside and out, that tell you to settle. But here is the truth. The moment you decide you are worth it, you start to see possibilities where you once saw walls. You start to notice opportunities, not obstacles. You start to act like someone who believes in themselves, and that belief becomes a magnet for success. It is not magic. It is a shift in how you see yourself. And that shift changes everything. The moment you decide you are worth it, the world begins to bend toward your courage. Rewrite your inner story. The second way to brainwash yourself for success is to rewrite the story you tell yourself about who you are. Your mind is a storyteller, and right now, it is narrating a version of your life that may not serve you. Maybe it says you are too old, too young, too broken, or too late. Maybe it replays your failures on a loop, convincing you that they define your future. That story is not the truth. It is just a script you have rehearsed, so often it feels real. But here is the good news. You are the author of that story, and you can rewrite it. You do not need to erase your past or pretend it didn't happen. You need to reframe it. Your struggles, your setbacks, your scars, they are not evidence of your weakness. They are proof of your resilience. Think about a movie you love, one where the hero faces impossible odds. What makes you root for them? It is not that they are perfect. It is that they keep going despite their flaws. Your life is that movie, and you are the hero. But too often, you let your inner narrator focus on the scenes where you fell, ignoring the ones where you got back up. I remember a young man named David who came to one of my seminars years ago. He was in his 20s, working a job he hated, convinced he was a failure because he had dropped out of college. His story was, "I am a quitter." I asked him to tell me about a time he did not quit. He hesitated, then shared how he had taught himself to code late at night, even after long shifts. That was a story of persistence, not failure. I challenged him to rewrite his inner narrative. I am someone who keeps learning no matter the odds. Within a year, he had landed a tech job he loved. The facts of his life had not changed at first. Only the story he told himself. Rewriting your story starts with awareness. Listen to the thoughts that run through your mind when you face a challenge. Do they lift you up or tear you down? If they tear you down, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this true, or is it just familiar? Then, start crafting a new narrative. If you think, "I always fail," replace it with, "I have faced setbacks, but I am still here and I am learning." This is not about lying to yourself or ignoring reality. It is about choosing to focus on the parts of your story that empower you. Write down your new story. Speak it out loud. Let it sink in. Over time, it will become your truth. This process takes courage because it forces you to face the lies you have believed about yourself. But every time you choose a new story, you are brainwashing your mind for success. You are teaching it to see possibility instead of limitation. You are training it to focus on your strength instead of your stumbles, and that new story will guide your actions, your choices, and ultimately your life. Your life follows the story you tell yourself. Write one worthy of a hero. Master your daily habits. The third way to brainwash yourself for success is to master your daily habits. Success is not built on grand gestures or overnight miracles. It is built on the small, consistent choices you make every single day. Your habits are the bricks that build the life you live. If you want to change your life, you have to change what you do between sunrise and sunset. Most people wait for motivation to strike before they act, but here is the secret. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You do not feel like a success and then start acting like one. You act like a success and the feeling follows. Think about a farmer tending his fields. He does not plant a seed and expect a harvest the next day. He waters it, pulls the weeds, protects it from pests, day after day, even when he is tired, even when it feels pointless. Your life is that field. Your habits, reading, exercising, planning, learning, are the seeds you plant. I knew a woman named Sarah who dreamed of starting her own business, but felt overwhelmed by the idea. She was stuck in a cycle of dreaming big, but doing nothing. I told her to start with one habit. Spend 30 minutes every morning researching her industry. At first, she resisted saying, "That is too small to matter." But after a month, those 30-minute sessions gave her the knowledge and confidence to take the next step. 2 years later, she was running a thriving small business. That one habit changed her trajectory. Start by picking one habit that aligns with your goal. If you want to be healthier, commit to walking 15 minutes a day. If you want to grow your mind, read 10 pages of a good book each morning. The key is consistency, not perfection. Do it even when you do not feel like it, because feelings are fleeting, but habits are permanent. Over time, these small actions rewire your brain. They teach you that you are capable, that you can show up for yourself. They build a rhythm of success that becomes second nature. The world will tempt you to skip your habits. Your phone will buzz, your inbox will overflow, your excuses will whisper. But every time you choose your habit over distraction, you are brainwashing yourself for success. You are proving to yourself that you are in control. And that proof builds a foundation nothing can shake. Your habits are the heartbeat of your success. Make them steady and your life will soar. Surround yourself with growth. The fourth way to brainwash yourself for success is to surround yourself with growth. The people you spend time with, the books you read, the environments you inhabit, they shape your mind more than you realize. If you are surrounded by negativity, complacency, or small thinking, your dreams will shrink to fit that space. But if you surround yourself with people who challenge you, ideas that stretch you, and places that inspire you, your mind will expand to meet those heights. You cannot rise higher than the company you keep. I once met a man named Tom who was stuck in a rut, working a job he hated, surrounded by friends who complained constantly. He wanted more, but felt trapped. I asked him, "Who in your life is living the way you want to live?" He admitted he did not know anyone like that. So I challenged him to seek out one person, a mentor, a colleague, anyone who embodied the success he craved. He joined a local business group and met a woman who ran her own company. She was not perfect, but she was driven, and she saw potential in Tom. Over coffee, she shared her struggles and strategies, and for the first time, Tom felt like his goals were possible. That one connection changed his perspective. He started seeking out books, podcasts, and events that aligned with his vision. Within a year, he had left his job and started his own small venture. You do not need a dozen mentors or a perfect circle of friends. You need one or two people who believe in growth, who push you to be better. You need books that challenge your assumptions, conversations that spark ideas, environments that remind you of what is possible. This does not mean you abandon your current friends or family. It means you are intentional about who and what you let influence your mind. If you cannot find those people in your daily life, find them in books, in seminars, in online communities. Surround yourself with growth, and your mind will start to think bigger, act bolder, and aim higher. This takes effort. It means saying no to relationships that drain you, to habits that distract you, to environments that dull your spirit. But every time you choose growth over comfort, you are rewiring your brain for success. You are teaching it to seek possibility, to crave progress, to reject mediocrity. You become the average of the influences you choose. Surround yourself with greatness, and you will rise to meet it. Embrace the pain of discipline. The fifth way to brainwash yourself for success is to embrace the pain of discipline. Success is not about avoiding pain. It is about choosing the right kind of pain. There are two pains in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. The pain of discipline is temporary. It stings when you wake up early, say no to temptation, or push through a tough task. But the pain of regret is permanent. It haunts you when you look back and realize you could have done more. Discipline is the tool that carves your dreams into reality, but it requires you to lean into discomfort. I remember a young woman named Emily who wanted to become a writer. She had a gift for words, but was paralyzed by procrastination. She would start projects, then abandon them when the work got hard. She told me, "I want it, but I cannot stay focused." I asked her to try something. For 1 month, write 500 words every day, no matter how bad they were. She resisted, saying it felt too hard, too forced. But she tried it. The first week was torture. She hated the process, doubted her words, wanted to quit. But by the third week, something shifted. The writing got easier, not because she was suddenly perfect, but because she had trained her mind to show up. Today, she has published 2 books. The pain of discipline set her free. Discipline is not about being perfect. It is about showing up when you do not feel like it, when the world is loud, when your doubts are louder. It is about choosing to act even when the outcome is uncertain. Start small. Set a goal you cannot fail, like 5 minutes of meditation, 1 page of reading, or 1 email to a potential mentor. Then stick to it. The act of following through, no matter how small, rewires your brain. It teaches you that you are reliable, that you can trust yourself. Over time, that trust becomes the foundation of your success. The pain of discipline is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Embrace it, and you will find that it is not pain at all, it is power. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Cross it even when it hurts. Visualize your success daily. The 6th way to brainwash yourself for success is to visualize your success every single day. Your mind is a powerful tool. It creates what it believes. If you fill it with images of failure, fear, or doubt, it will steer you toward those things. But if you fill it with images of success, clarity, and purpose, it will guide you toward them. Visualization is not about daydreaming or wishing. It is about training your mind to see the life you want as if it is already real, so your actions follow suit. I met a man named Michael who wanted to start his own gym. He was passionate but terrified of failing. He would lie awake at night, picturing empty classes, unpaid bills, and disappointed clients. I told him to try something different. Every morning, spend 5 minutes closing his eyes and picturing his gym thriving. Clients laughing, weights clanking, his team energized. At first, he felt silly, but he did it. He described the smells, the sounds, the feeling of pride. Over weeks, that vision became his anchor. It gave him the courage to take risks, like leasing a space or hiring his first trainer. Today, his gym is a community hub, just as he pictured it. That daily visualization did not make success automatic. It made him believe it was possible. Visualization works because it trains your brain to recognize opportunities. When you picture your goal clearly, your mind starts to notice the steps to get there. It is like tuning a radio to the right frequency. You suddenly hear the signal clearly. Start by setting aside 5 minutes each day. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life you want. Feel the emotions, pride, joy, gratitude. Then carry that vision into your day. It will shape your choices, your courage, your resilience. This practice is not about escaping reality. It is about creating it. When you visualize success daily, you are brainwashing your mind to believe in your potential. And that belief will pull you forward even on the hardest days. See your success in your mind before it appears in your life. The vision you hold becomes the path you walk. Learn from every failure. The 7th way to brainwash yourself for success is to learn from every failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. The world will tell you that failure is a dead end, a sign to give up. But the truth is, failure is a teacher, and its lessons are the raw material of success. Every setback, every mistake, every closed door is a chance to grow wiser, stronger, more prepared. The key is to stop fearing failure and start studying it. I knew a man named James who started a small restaurant. He poured his heart into it, but within a year it failed. He was devastated, convinced he was not cut out for business. But instead of giving up, he sat down and dissected what went wrong. He realized he had chosen a bad location, ignored customer feedback, and mismanaged his budget. Those were painful truths, but they were also his roadmap. He used those lessons to start a new venture, a food truck this time. It thrived because he had learned what not to do. Failure did not stop him, it shaped him. When you fail, do not hide from it. Face it. Ask yourself, what did this teach me? How can I use this to get better? Write down the answers. They are your guideposts. Failure only becomes a tragedy if you let it define you instead of refine you. Every successful person you admire has failed, often more times than you know. What sets them apart is that they treated failure as a classroom, not a courtroom. Learning from failure rewires your brain to see setbacks as opportunities. It teaches you resilience, adaptability, and humility. It prepares you for the next challenge, not by making you perfect, but by making you wiser. Embrace your failures, and they will become the stepping stones to your success. Failure is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that teaches you how to win. Chapter 8. Speak your future into existence. The 8th way to brainwash yourself for success is to speak your future into existence. Your words have power. They shape your thoughts, your actions, and your reality. If you constantly say, "I cannot do this," or "I am not good enough," you are programming your mind to believe it. But if you speak words of possibility, courage, and purpose, you are planting seeds for a new reality. This is not about fake positivity or empty affirmations. It is about choosing words that align with the person you are becoming. I remember a woman named Lisa who wanted to become a public speaker. She was talented but paralyzed by self-doubt. She would say things like, "I am not ready," or "No one will listen to me." I challenged her to change her words. Every morning she had to say, "I am a speaker who inspires others." At first, she laughed, saying it felt like lying. But over time, those words changed how she carried herself. She started practicing her talks, booking small gigs, and speaking with confidence. Her words did not make her a speaker overnight. They made her act like one until it became true. Your words are like a brush painting the canvas of your life. Choose them carefully. Speak about your goals as if they are coming, not as if they are impossible. Say, "I am working toward my dream," instead of "I wish I could." Say, "I am learning," instead of "I am failing." These small shifts in language rewire your mind. They make you believe in your potential, and that belief drives your actions. This takes practice. You will catch yourself slipping into old patterns, complaining, or doubting. When you do, pause, choose a new word, a new sentence. Speak your future into existence, and watch how your mind begins to align with your words. Your words are the architects of your future. Speak as if your dreams are already taking shape. Take ownership of your time. The 9th way to brainwash yourself for success is to take ownership of your time. Time is your most precious resource. It is the currency of your life. How you spend it determines where you end up. Most people let time slip through their fingers, distracted by screens, obligations, or excuses. But if you want to succeed, you have to treat your time like a treasure. You have to guard it, invest it, and use it with purpose. I met a man named Robert who dreamed of writing a book, but said he never had time. He worked long hours, had a family, and felt stretched thin. I asked him to track his time for 1 week, every hour, every activity. He was shocked to find he spent 3 hours a day scrolling on his phone. That was 21 hours a week, enough to write a chapter. He started reclaiming just one of those hours each day to write. Within a year, he had a manuscript. Time did not magically appear. He took ownership of it. Start by auditing your time. Where is it going? Are you spending it on things that move you toward your goals, or are you letting it leak away? Then set boundaries. Say no to distractions that do not serve your vision. Block out time for what matters, whether it is learning, creating, or resting. Treat those time blocks as sacred, as non-negotiable as a meeting with your boss. This is not about being busy. It is about being intentional. Taking ownership of your time rewires your brain to value yourself. It teaches you that you are in control, that your dreams are worth prioritizing. Every hour you invest in your goals is a vote for the person you want to become. Time is the canvas of your life. Paint it with purpose, or it will be filled with someone else's colors. Act before you are ready. The 10th way to brainwash yourself for success is to act before you are ready. Waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of yourself is a trap. It keeps you stuck, dreaming but not doing. Success does not come from being ready. It comes from moving forward, even when you are scared, even when you are unsure. Action is the antidote to fear. It is the spark that turns your dreams into reality. I knew a woman named Maria who wanted to start a nonprofit to help her community. She had no experience, no funding, just a burning desire. She kept saying, "I will start when I know enough." But years passed and she was still waiting. I told her, "Take one step today, even if it is small." She reached out to a local leader for advice. That conversation led to a partnership, which led to a small grant, which led to her organization serving hundreds of people today. She was not ready when she started, and that made her ready. Action creates clarity. When you take a step, even a shaky one, you learn what works and what does not. You gain confidence, not because you have all the answers, but because you prove to yourself that you can figure it out. Start with one action today. Make a call, write a page, take a class. Do not wait for permission or perfection. The act of moving forward rewires your brain to see yourself as someone who makes things happen. This is not about being reckless. It is about trusting yourself to learn as you go. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a signal to your mind that you are serious about your dreams. Act before you are ready, and you will find that readiness comes through action. You do not need to be ready to start. You need to start to become ready. You have just walked through 10 ways to brainwash yourself for success, 10 steps to rewire your mind and reshape your life. But let me be clear, this is not about inspiration alone. Inspiration is a spark, but action is the fire. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. One path leads back to the familiar, the doubts, the excuses, the life you have always known. The other path leads to something more, a life of purpose, impact, and fulfillment. That path is not easy. It will demand courage, discipline, and a willingness to believe in yourself when no one else does. But it is worth it. You are worth it. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the person you want to become. See their confidence, their strength, their joy. That person is not a fantasy. They are you, waiting to be born. The steps I have shared, deciding you are worth it, rewriting your story, mastering your habits, surrounding yourself with growth, embracing discipline, visualizing success, learning from failure, speaking your future, owning your time, and acting before you are ready, they are not just ideas. They are the tools to build that person, starting today. Take one step right now. Write down one goal, one habit, one action you will commit to this week. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Your life is not a rehearsal, it is happening now. You have everything you need to begin. You have the spark, the will, the heart. All that is left is to move. I believe in you, not because I know you, but because I know what is possible when someone decides to fight for their dreams. Go out there and make it happen. Your future is waiting, and it is brighter than you can imagine.